I'm from Jersey, so I look a little differently. I say Trump.
I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump.
What they meant to say, Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Stop it. Get some help.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And TDS on full display. And now we have MDS, Musk Derangement Syndrome. It's hard to say that. Musk Derangement Syndrome. Get that K in there, right? But anyway, TDS, MDS on full display from Democrats because Donald Trump is auditing the government. They're going to continue to die on this hill. They are judge shopping every chance they get to try and stop Donald Trump and Elon Musk from digging into what's actually going on with our money. It's not their money. It's our money. And if you, for some reason, are somebody who doesn't like Donald Trump, but you're against what he's doing right now and you want to, hold the Constitution in your hand and clench it real tight all of a sudden, that's bizarre to me because Barack Obama had the pen and the phone. Donald Trump's not even going that far. He just wants to see what the money's being spent on, and then he wants to freeze that spending until Congress can do something about it. But I guess because it's Donald Trump and you have TDS and now MDS, you don't want that to happen. But like I said, Democrats will continue to die on this hill, and I think the longer they do it, even if they think they're winning by having judges, these activist judges coming in and stopping this from going forward for now, they're losing. The American public is not going to be happy with them. Not 70% of the public. There's the 30% of the wacko crazies who are going to be all on board. But I'm telling you right now, 70% of the American public wants Elon Musk and Donald Trump to do exactly what they're doing. This, again, is our money, and we're sick and tired of not knowing where our money is going. How many times have you said, where's all the tax money going? I pay this much in taxes. Where is that money? Well, now we're finally finding out. And the Democrats, for whatever reason, and I think it's TDS, and we're going to get at the end of the video, stick around, because there's a little Charlie Kirk segment where they're actually doctors now diagnosing people. They're not saying TDS, but they are officially saying they have people coming in that are just flipping out about Donald Trump. They can't handle it. They don't know what to do. So we'll get to that at the end. For now, let's jump into a Fox News segment with Kellyanne Conway, and I forget the other one's name. Her name is Leslie, and Martha McCallum is going to be interviewing them both. Leslie is a Democrat, and you'll see they are dug in. They will find any reason to give to say that what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing is a bad thing. Let's go.
Counselor to President Trump, now president of KAC Consulting, and Leslie Marshall, Democratic strategist. Both are Fox News contributors. And as I said, Senator Ted Cruz coming up in moments. Ladies, great to see both of you. I want to pull this up. This is from Jerry Baker's editorial in the Wall Street Journal. As Democrats stand up for the bureaucrats against DOGE. He says it was a tableau for the ages. One example of the many strange battle lines the Democratic Party has chosen to defend the past few years. Illegal immigrants over citizens, teachers' unions over parents and children, criminals over victims, men turned women over girls. Good luck with that, Democrats, he writes. You may want to fire your pollsters. Leslie, let me start with...
Before we get to Leslie, who's going to try to spin a way out of this one, the Democrats are on the 20% side of every issue. The 80-20. They're on the 20% side of all of these issues with the public. And they just don't seem to be able to get out of it because of, like I've said, TDS.
Your reaction to the sort of vulgar language that was just used that you saw from Democrats who seem to be wanting to die on the hill of not cutting spending in Washington.
Stop it one more time real quick. Remember when the Democrats are running the commercials during Trump's first run for the presidency, how they said words matter and, Trump's bombastic and sometimes, really just out in your face kind of language. And they would say, our children are watching. That's all out the window now for Democrats, right? You imagine if a Republican, if actual elected Republicans were holding rallies saying F Obama. Can you imagine that? What the outrage would be from the media?
Oh, I would disagree. I'm a Democrat. I want spending cut. But I don't want people who are in the middle of a medical trial who have medication in their body and could become very ill or die because
fear-mongering
of that type of a cut. When you're spending millions to send the president to the Super Bowl, when you have people that are not...
Oh, now we're worried about sending presidents to, ceremonious events that cost the taxpayers money. Now we're worried about that, Leslie? Really?
vetted properly, when you have people that don't have security detail, when you have people who are experts in computers rather than forensic accountants or
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to keep stopping it. Forensic accountants. How are those forensic accountants? How have they been doing over the past how many decades, Leslie? How we doing? How we doing there? Because we're $36 trillion in debt. How we doing with the forensic accountants or whoever the hell else is looking after this? Are you kidding me right now?
Daddy, chill.
EPAs looking to cut budgetary items. And then which budgetary items? You want to cut fat, you want to cut pork. I and Democrats don't have a problem with that, but we do have a problem when you're cutting programs that affect the health care for veterans as examples. And I could go on and on and on.
What's the examples? You're just throwing things out there. No veterans, nobody's health care has been cut, nobody's Medicaid's been cut, nobody's Social Security's been cut. You're just throwing things out there. And you know what? Nobody's buying it anymore. Maybe in Trump 1.0 they would buy it. Trump 2.0, they're not buying it.
Take up the whole show with cuts that are going to hurt people, farmers that are going to be hurt in the Middle East.
The issue is that Democrats have never wanted to cut anything. So, you know, they have never come forward in the way that we're seeing now. And Kellyanne,
Democrats have never seen a spending program they didn't like. Hey guys, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe. I do one video a day at least. If I don't do one video, it's because of circumstances that were beyond my control and I couldn't get it done. But please like, share, and subscribe and help me grow this channel. I appreciate it.
You weigh in here and answer Leslie's discussion here that they're cutting things that are hurting people. What do you say to that?
Well, that's what they want us to believe. They want to scare people instead of get the facts and actually help a little bit. Why not some bipartisan action, Leslie and Martha, on things that are so outrageous and egregious, no one can possibly rationally disagree. No one who doesn't have stage 5 Trump derangement syndrome, which is everyone you just showed. Leslie, I don't think your party looks good right now. And sometimes you just have to say the away team is having a bad season. We're going to regroup. You don't want to defend the indefensible. It is indefensible to say that we should be spending billions with a B on nonsense, on things that don't work anymore and never did. Transgender parades here and spreading atheism in Nepal there. I think the people of Nepal need other things other than godlessness. Look, you know that it's been going on the last 4 years. I always disagree that people said Joe Biden's not doing anything. I think he was doing a lot of harm across this world and in this country. But taking a woke agenda and exporting it to the world and asking all of us to pay for it. Ladies, I'm old at this point. I remember you're politically correct. You're politically incorrect. Ha, we can go have a drink and laugh it off. Now people are saying, excuse me, your wokeness is costing all of us money. You're putting dollar figures behind it. Now, those Democrats, if they actually had chapter and verse, Martha, of people who are being denied benefits and things that are going askew, we're all listening. I want to hear it.
Doesn't exist.
They're dropping F-bombs that you have to censor on a 3 o'clock in the afternoon show. They're obsessed with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who are only trying to do what Trump was elected to do, what we all want done, which is to make sure that our money as taxpayers is going to things that help Americans, that help around the world. We can help, but it can't be for all this nonsense and these wasteful programs.
Let me quickly play this from Joe Rogan, and with a warning that there's another F-bomb in this one too. Watch.
Joe Biden had went in and found corruption that was in the halls of our government and tried to weed it out and said there's corruption in these NGOs, there's corruption in these not-for-profits, there's a lot of corruption and influence, and we're going to weed this out because we want a fair country. The place of you cheering him.
Yeah, he's 100% right. And just interesting, Joe Rogan, you realize Donald Trump right now, apparently poll-wise, is up 10 points with Gen Z. He's polling plus 10 with Gen Z. That unheard of. 4 years ago, 8 years ago. Unheard of. Gen Z, the young generation, loves Donald Trump, partly because of Joe Rogan, Theo Von, shows like that.
Leslie, what do you think about that?
I think if we're cutting waste, why are we cutting anybody who's not a Republican from a certain committee or certain department? If we're cutting waste, why are we firing?
Can you prove that?
People who had a certain opinion politically on January 6th. If we're cutting waste, then how come it's not being
She's throwing a bunch of stuff out there that has, and she can back it up with nothing.
Done in a bipartisan manner? How come it's not being done with transparency? How come it is a constitutional crisis?
Buzzword, constitutional crisis. They've tried this in Trump 1.0 plenty of times. It's not going to work in Trump 2.0. Everybody is saying constitutional crisis, constitutional crisis, constitutional crisis. It's a buzzword. See, they get thrown out. It gets thrown out. This is the word you guys got to use. We're all going to use it. Everybody on the left, all of the legacy media saying we're in a constitutional crisis right now. It's a lie.
That's not only not caring about the Constitution, but the legality of these things. When Congress appropriates funds, whether it's Democrat or Republican, you can't just say,
Leslie, let me just point
the
one thing out.
executive branch and the judicial branch.
Leslie, you had 83% of Americans polled saying that they wanted significant or complete overhaul of the government. So are you willing to admit that your party has completely overlooked how strongly Americans feel about cutting this spending that has gotten us $36 trillion in debt?
I would admit they want spending cut. I don't admit this is the way they want it cut, and they certainly don't like seeing gas prices go up, eggs, bacon, bread, which are just 3 today.
Yes, those were so inexpensive under Biden. Listen, 98 days ago, less than 100 days ago.
She actually went there. She went for the price of eggs hasn't come down yet. Meanwhile, I've said in other videos, the eggs right now because of actual bird flu. So even if Biden was in office, the eggs went through the roof before that with Biden. But right now, if they were going even higher, I'd say, yeah, it's because of bird flu. But all the inflation we're suffering now with food, eggs, all the baseline inflation, and inflation came in hot again today with the reports coming in. Is all Joe Biden. It's still Joe Biden. It's not going to go away overnight. She actually went there. I mean, you want to talk about just reaching so low for something that maybe somebody on X might reach for. But no, this is somebody on Fox News, a Democratic strategist reaching for, look at the price of eggs and the price of gas. Are you kidding me?
Was the election. The election was 98 days ago. A month ago, we didn't even know who was running the country. Now there's absolutely no doubt. And the volume and velocity with which President Trump is enacting this agenda, this mandate to actually cut out the waste and showing us, ladies, I think this is the important part. It's all transparent. Today we're cutting USAID here. Today we're exposing this program and that program. They're making it transparent. And I think this is the end of Chuck Schumer, Martha. I think that they have no message except to attack Trump and now Musk. And I think those old war horses in the Democratic Party are going to be on their way out. They act like
100%. She said they're going to be on their way out. They act like the election never happened. It's as if this didn't happen, as if Donald Trump didn't win all 7 swing states, as if Donald Trump didn't win the popular vote, as if Donald Trump didn't win, didn't improve in every county, almost every county in the country. In blue states, improved dramatically in counties, even if he didn't win the state. They act like it didn't happen. They're just gonna, I mean, like a bull in a china closet, just going straight through, wrecking it. No idea what they're doing. Because of TDS. And like Kellyanne Conway just said, it's part of it is the breakneck speed that he's doing it at. He has them, they don't know which way to turn. So you know what they've done? They focused on DOGE. He's forced them into focusing on DOGE. And you know what else is funny? They're focused more on Elon Musk now than they are Donald Trump. Elon Musk is the bad guy now, not Donald Trump. It's really incredible. I mean, you want to talk 4D chess? Whether he did it intentionally or not, I don't know. But he actually took the eyes off of him, and now he has them on Elon Musk, and they can't do anything to Elon Musk. What can they do to him? Nothing. Not going to do anything to him. But Republicans now have to get their messaging straight. Okay? Blame the Democrats for this now. Bipartisan? Well, we'd love to now for Congress to permanently get rid of these things, but the Democrats don't want to do it. Why? What are they hiding? Why is Randy Weingarten from the teachers, the teachers union now going to sue DOGE to make sure that they can't get into the Department of Education? What is she afraid of? This is our money. I want to see, you want to see where our money is going for once. I want to see what my money that gets taken out of my check is getting spent on. What's wrong with that? Nothing. It actually should be required. Every single line item. I don't care if it takes years to read it. It should be available. If you want to read it, you read it. If you don't, you don't. But we should have a line item book of everything that our money is spent on. Now let's get to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's going to talk about TDS. And I've said forever, TDS is real. Let's go.
Mental health experts see a massive increase in despair and burnout. Axios, which is a mainstream media regime operation, has published an article claiming that mental health experts are seeing massive increase in patients who are Democrat voters complaining of despair and burnout in the wake of President Trump's winning the election and taking office for the second time. The piece claims that worn-out whiners are whining so much about not being able to keep up with President Trump's shock and awe and rapid-fire policies. The article notes, quote, mental health professionals say even people who don't see themselves as directly affected by the administration actions are feeling frazzled by the dizzying pace and Trump's enduring ability to command attention. Quote, they may feel it through the venting of a spouse, the distress of a neighbor with a trans child, or an anxious friend who works for a government contractor. Andrea Bonois, a Georgetown University psychology professor, says, quote, she said she's seen an uptick in patients, particularly Democrats, expressing a sense of burnout, guilt, and despair at losing an old way of life. Bonois writes, she pointed to federal workers who aren't sure if they'll be let go, as others are concerned about their immigration status or worried about loved ones whose refugee flights were canceled. Everybody, they made a decision to religiously focus on the removal of Donald Trump as their purpose. As Pascal famously wrote,
and they failed,
that every human being has a God-sized shape hole in their heart. And every human being tries to fill that hole, and we believe only our Lord is able to fill that hole. Democrats don't believe in God, and they believe that there was a God, it would be him, so they don't agree with any element of that. So therefore, they must come up with some construct, some meaning, and think about how similar left-wing activism has been to religion these last couple of years.
Well, to Democrats and the left, I've said government is their God. Government is God. Without government, they don't know what to do. Without government telling them what to do, caring for them from cradle to grave, they don't know what to do. And it's not a way I want to live. But you see, they're not getting preferential treatment now. All these people that are flipping out that something's going to happen to them, nothing's going to happen to you. We have equal rights in this country. It's the law, actually. It's the law, see? You're just not getting preferential treatment now. That's the difference. You're not being coddled. You're just like everybody else. Isn't that the goal? Everybody's just like everybody else. Everybody has the opportunity, the pursuit of happiness. Government doesn't guarantee happiness. It can't. And they think it can. The government will bring utopia. Just give us more time and more of your money. Utopia awaits. We promise. When are you going to get it? The founding fathers knew that. They said the pursuit of happiness. Everybody has the opportunity equally, especially now. We've solved that issue. Now, some people don't think we have, and they'll never get past it. And some people make a very good living pretending that not everybody has the same opportunity. So, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.